All right, guys, we are back. What up? It's JoJo on the radio. This is the iHeartRadio countdown, and look who just stepped in. My dude, who I've known for, God, I don't know how many years, AJ from the Backstreet Boys. AJ, first of all, where are you and how are you? What's up?
First of all, what up, dude? Second of all, I'm fantastic. And third of all, I am in Ottawa, Canada right now, on my way to our show tonight. Actually, I'm on my bus. I'm in my bedroom. I'm in the back of my bus right now. And we are headed to the venue as we speak.
Yeah, we had planned to do this in person, but the Backstreet tour is just crazy, as you know. And I have questions about the bus. I hear you're having some bus issues, or you had some bus issues. We'll get to that later on.
Still am, actually. I just got on my bus and I'm not happy right now.
Oh, man.
And I literally just had, I think it's the second time in my entire life since I discovered coffee. It's the second time in my life I've ever had a cup of straight black coffee because my refrigerator is again broken for the third time.
Oh, man.
So
right. What the? Okay.
Yeah.
Do they not know that you're AJ from the Backstreet Boys and you need a bus that works properly?
Yeah, and here's the crazy part is my bus out of all 5 buses is the newest bus. So I guess I have what they call the new bus blues. And yeah, so good times.
Hey, this track "Smoke," which we'll get to in a second, and of course the album will talk about all that. You stated that the solo projects will never affect, just to clarify everything, never going to affect the Backstreet Boys. So you got 2 different worlds going on, right?
Yep. I mean, it's kind of like personal life, work life. It's kind of that same relationship, like when I get home off the road, I'm in husband dad mode. And when I'm on the road, I'm clearly always in husband dad mode, but when I'm on the road, I'm in Backstreet mode. It's me and the boys doing our thing, and it's the same kind of mentality when it comes to doing my solo, music. And for me, even though fans know that I did have my first solo project came out in 2009, it was only released in a very small, specific area of the entire globe. This is something that will be worldwide and is, in my mind, my first true solo endeavor.
Let's talk this new album. We'll get to the solo track, the first single, "Smoke," in a couple of seconds, which if you guys haven't heard, oh my God. But the album, I think you said this new album is 100% of what the people have been wanting from you. Talk about that.
Yes, it is. Yes. I mean, over the years, I've done, like I said, I did my first solo project thing in 2009, which if you really listen to that whole album, Have It All, it truly sounds like a bunch of Backstreet Boys songs sung by just me. It's very Backstreet-esque. It's all, it's a bunch of harmonies. It's very, very pop driven. Then I took a little dip in the country ocean, the country waters.
Right. How was that,
I gave
by
a
the
little
way?
stab at that. It was it was honestly such a liberating and really fun experience. I didn't even expect to get any real traction because the country world that I've learned, if you're not really embedded in Nashville and you don't really come from that world, it doesn't necessarily matter how big you are in your world. Coming into the country world, it's very, very close to the chest for them. It's very territorial.
Right.
And yet my first single, Night Visions, did really well. Boy and a Man did even better. But then unfortunately the world shut down. And right around that time was when I was going to put out my third single, put out a proper EP, and that got shut down because of the world getting shut down. And then during that 2-year break, I started thinking to myself, if I want to continue this country thing, I'm going to have to start all over again. I'm going to have to go back to Nashville. I'm going to have to go back and really go back to the grassroots of it. And I just started writing. I started thinking of different ideas. And when I got into the studio this past January, that's when things really kind of took a shift. And what came out of it is beyond what the fans have been waiting for, and really truly what defines who I am as a solo artist. I mean, honest to God,
yeah,
it really, really does.
If you haven't heard this track, "Smoke," which we'll get to in a couple of seconds, man, wait for this. You did mention to me that, or you mentioned somewhere, I don't think you told me this personally, on this album, this upcoming album, which by the way, target release date, I'm curious on that, but you said there's a song on this album that is the best song you have ever written or been a part of writing. Is that true?
Yeah. Honestly, in my true opinion, as far as in my world, outside of Backstreet, as far as anything I've ever written, both melodically, lyrically, sonically, musically, yes, it's a song called "You," and it is. It's just. I mean, I can't wait to send it to you, bro, because it is just. Yeah.
It's that.
YOU.
And the
Yep.
target release date for this album, what are you thinking? Like early next year or
Uh,
something like that?
yeah. Most likely early next year, possibly on my birthday,
Oh, no
actually.
kidding. How about that?
Yes, that's been the talks amongst myself and my team, talking to my management, and that is the tentative date that we're kind of farting around with right now is January 9th of 2023, to put out the actual full LP.
AJ McLean is hanging out. You know him from Backstreet Boys, obviously. But this solo material that he's putting out now, man, it is something else. This track, Smoke, which I'm about to play, AJ texted to me a couple of months back. And once I heard it, AJ, I hit you back. I forget the exact thing I text back to you, but I was like, dude, I think you got something here. This is
Yeah,
serious
yeah.
business, man. So talk about this
You
track,
were
Smoke.
you were so receptive. And look, you and I have I've sent you music over the years and you've always been brutally honest with me and I appreciate it. And you've got a good ear for what is a hit and what's not a hit. And your response was very well received on my end and I really appreciate it. This was actually the last song that my amazing team of writers and my producer Killa B wrote in January at the end of our first writing camp. We were in the studio for about a week, and the first few days was kind of just feeling each other out. We probably got about 5 or 6 songs done, and three of which actually made the cut. And "Smoke" was the final song. I turned to my producer and I said, "Look, I really want something sonically that kind of is reminiscent of Prince and George Michael."
Oh, there we go.
And literally, he laid the track out for me, and we pretty much wrote the song within about an hour, but we didn't have the hook. And usually, the way I write is I write the hook first, and then I go backwards, because to me, that's the epicenter of any great song is the actual hook, and just the melodies in general. But the hook is where it's all at. So we wrote the verses, wrote the pre-choruses, had the bridge, no hook. And I'm like,
Go
okay,
backwards, right?
this
Yeah.
is, yeah, very, very backwards. And then we got to the end of the chorus and we still didn't have a tagline. And I was getting really stressed out. I was getting really tired. It was about 12:30 in the morning. And I said, I need a quick little break. And so I literally lit a cigarette and I was sitting in the studio and I was smoking my cigarette and I'm going to myself, huh. And I looked at my writers and we all kind of like you could see virtual light bulbs going off on everyone's head. And I said, it's as easy as blowing smoke. And I'm like, that's it, write it down. Somebody write it down right now, write it down. And I went in, I cut it, and we were like, oh my God, this is it. And we listened back about 15 times to the song and we just could not stop jamming to it. And we're like, we got something here, man. And that really truly set the bar for the rest of the album. Working with a bunch of other amazing writers, it took us about 6 months to make the record. We finished up literally the end of May before the tour started. And I'm telling you, man, wait till you hear YOU. I just can't. I can't. I'm gonna send it to you. Like literally, as soon as we get done with this, I'm sending it to you.
Love it, man. And the video, real quick note on the video, talk about a sexy video, which by the way, AJ's wife, Rochelle, is the coolest. Played her this video. She, of course, loved. Your daughters are dancers. They loved sexy video. What can you say about the video? I mean, underline
Yeah.
the word
So
sexy video.
yes, going into this. So this is the fifth or sixth video that I've co-directed with my best friend for 25 years, Renee Elizondo. Him and I have directed a bunch of my solo videos. We also co-directed the Backstreet Boys Chances video. That was the first time one of us have gotten behind the camera to do anything for, Backstreet Boys. And I basically wanted to do kind of an homage to, if you go back to the 80s, the old Robert Palmer video for
Yeah.
Addicted to Love. That's what I wanted to do with a little bit of the Freedom video from George Michael with all the supermodels. And then, a little bit of the Blurred Lines thing. I've kind of heard people kind of comparing it to that, with the exception of I wanted this to be a little bit more classy and kind of leaving it more to the imagination and not having women completely exposed. And, the second everybody got on set, I pulled all of the ladies aside and I said, listen, I want you guys to feel comfortable. I want you guys to know if there's anything that you're not okay with, please come to me and tell me, and we'll make it work for you. This is a fun space, a positive space. And I want to just show the beauty that is the female body and to just have a great time. And everybody was like, wow, this is going to be fun. And we all had a blast. The ladies were fantastic. And it turned out better than we could have expected. I was very adamant about it being shot in black and white. And then recently, we had a 6-day break in between the legs of the tour. And I just shot the video for the second single, which will be coming out in November, a song called Electric. This video, night and day from the Smoke video.
Oh my God.
Let me assure you. But I'll just say the only hint I can give about the new single and the new video, it's a little Stranger Things vibe. That's all I'm going to say.
As I'm talking to him, he is on his bus, and they're in the middle of the Backstreet tour, obviously. Okay, let's run through this bus issue again. There are five Backstreet Boys, 5 buses. You've got the newest bus, yet this bus keeps breaking down. Run me through the issues. Let's go through them.
You know what, dude? I don't know if like Mercury's in retrograde or what the hell's going on, but the only time I have really good luck is when I'm playing poker in Vegas or blackjack in Vegas. Other than that, the dumbest crap seems to follow me around. But so the first time the bus broke down, there was 22 connection issues. So I lost the bus for 5 days. I rode on Nick's bus, which was a blessing and a curse, because Nick likes to play 80s music as loud as possible, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, and doesn't care if anyone's trying to sleep. So there was that. That was fun.
Love it.
Then my refrigerator has froze over twice. Now I get on the bus this morning, or this afternoon, I should say, and my refrigerator is broken, which means everything in there is donezo. Couldn't even have a normal cup of coffee, which is my lifeline every day. So yeah, I don't know what I just don't know anymore. So we only have 2 weeks left for this particular leg of the tour. So who knows, man? I don't know. I might just start riding a bicycle to every show from this point on.
Well, as the unofficial 6th Backstreet Boy, let me make a formal complaint to Backstreet headquarters. Please fix AJ's bus. This is unacceptable.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Jojo.
Solo track Smoke is out. New album coming out soon. Look out for all this stuff. A question that you probably can't answer, AJ. I'm seeing things
or can I? Or
can you? There's a show on television where there's a character on this show that looks a lot like you. I swear it's you. It sounds like you. It looks like you. Without giving away the name of the show, I'm not sure what I can say. You're in a bit of a disguise. I think it's you. What can you say?
Let's just say this. If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's probably a cat. So hopefully that answers your question. It's funny because what season is it now for The Masked Singer? It's season 3 or 4, I think. Every single season of that show, like clockwork, everywhere on social media, fans are convinced one of those characters is always me. And I'm like, even if it was, I ain't going to tell you, but it's never been me ever. Obviously, we know Nick did the show.
Actually, I was Nick's special hidden mystery, whatever you call it, guest on The Masked Singer.
Nice. Yeah. See, so nobody, yeah,
I didn't even
everybody
know.
seems to think it's always me. Yeah. So, and look, I think it'll be really funny if I ever did do that show. I would completely change my voice to really throw everybody off. But yeah, I don't really know what everyone's convinced about, but no, yeah,
Might not.
like I
Might
said,
be.
it might be, it might not be, but like I said, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a cat. So,
All right. Well, okay, I'll leave it at that. Who knows if it's really you? That's all I can really say. Backstreet Boys tour is it's happening now. By the way, I saw these guys at the Hollywood Bowl here in LA a couple of months back. I mean, it's just to see you guys do this show, watching people that have mastered their craft. It is just, I mean, I've seen you 1,000 times, but it's so good, AJ. You guys you've mastered.
Thank you.
This is what you do, and you're great at it.
And I love what I do. We love what we do. And the fact that we had to postpone the tour twice due to the pandemic, and to come back to a sold out summer tour, adding 11 or 12 shows to the tour. It's 58 shows total this summer.
Wow.
Is unprecedented. And on top of all that, finally having a Christmas album coming out this year as well. First Christmas album in 30 years. 30 years next year. It's just, I mean, we are beyond blessed. We are beyond grateful. We have been given the gift of the best fans in the entire world. And we're going to keep doing this until probably all my hair falls out and I have a walker. I don't even know. But it is definitely, Backstreet's here to stay. And I really, truly feel that this is finally my time for me to stand on my own 2 feet. And like I said, even with God willing, the success of this solo project, both of these worlds can coexist. And I have the support of my bandmates. I played them the album. They think it's incredible. And thank you, fellas, for always having my back as I have yours. So, yeah, man, life doesn't get better than it does today, to be honest with you.
Amen. AJ, always good to see you, dude.
Likewise, brother.
At the end of every interview, fist bump to make it official. Tap that cam, AJ. Give me a little
boom.